smoldering intensity.
I cannot smolder. So never mind, you did not see that. I cannot smolder as good as the Raw can. But one thing's for certain, I can smolder when I'm wearing my tobacco fragrances, because they are very smoldering, they're seductive, they're sultry. So I have 7 of them to share with you. So if you want to know what they are, definitely keep watching. Hi, this is Sasha Scents, and I'm Sasha. If you're a current subscriber, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate your continued support. And if you're new here, welcome. I mostly do fragrance reviews, so if you enjoy that kind of content, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. Plus, I would love to have you as part of this fragrant family. And guys, I would love to know what fragrances you love wearing that have that tobacco accord in there. Let me know in the comments. I love fragrances with that tobacco note, and no, I'm not a smoker. There's just something about a tobacco note in a fragrance that I find very comforting in a weird kind of way. And that's maybe because it reminds me of when I was much, much younger. My grandfather used to smoke that sweet tobacco in his pipe. And I remember we would sit in front of him, all the kids, and he would tell us stories, and then you would get kind of that smell of that sweet tobacco, and it just brings back a lot of memories. And so maybe that's why I really like that particular accord in my fragrances. But anyway, let's just get right on into the video. All right, the first one I'm going to talk about is Plum and Cognac, and this is the Eau de Parfum by Scents of Wood. This is a great unisex fragrance, and I should mention, if you're a guy, the majority of the fragrances today are unisex, and they are right down the middle. They're neither too masculine or too feminine. Anyway, let's get back to this beauty. This is Plum and Cognac. And if you're not familiar with Scents of Wood, they actually create these amazing fragrances by aging their organic alcohol in these oak barrels. And so that alcohol really pulls in that wood, and then they add these beautiful notes in here to create a masterpiece. And this really, really is a masterpiece. But let's talk about this particular fragrance. This one, oh, it's got this beautiful caramel accord in here that blends with the tobacco, and the tobacco itself is sweet. It's not overpowering, but it definitely is noticeable in this fragrance. It has hints of cinnamon and nutmeg, so you're going to get a slight spiciness with this. And then it has a really nice plum that's really ripe, decadent, and blends beautifully with a vanilla accord in here that's rich and creamy. And then you also have some vetiver in here. So very well done. This is a beautiful fragrance that performs exceptionally well. It's definitely past an arm's length when you spray this one. It lasts that way for a long time. It will get a little bit closer to the body, but you're gonna have this bubble around you. As far as longevity, really, really nice. Lasts a long, long time on your skin as well as on your clothes. This is a great fragrance for the fall, for winter time, for special occasions, even on a date night. If you want to leave a lasting impression with the person you're with, they're gonna love this fragrance. This is one of those fragrances that will definitely attract attention. I highly recommend this one. And again, this particular fragrance is Plum in Cognac by Scents of Wood. All right, this is the Golden Guy Eau de Parfum by MELEG Perfumes. This also is a unisex fragrance, and if you're not familiar with MELEG Perfumes, Matthew MELEG makes all of his fragrances out of his home. So they're all handmade. He lives in Canada, and he puts his heart into his fragrances, and he creates these amazing, beautiful perfumes that I'm really thrilled to have. I have actually 3 of his that I just absolutely adore. And this one, if you love tobacco but you don't want one that's too bold, this is done perfectly. It has this sweet pipe tobacco. It's really soft, and then it has this chambord and a raspberry liqueur and absinthe. So you're getting all this kind of booziness with it that's just really decadent and seductive. There's also some cedar wood as well as tonka bean. and bourbon vanilla. So overall, really, really well done. Again, this is not a fragrance that's going to be too bold in your face. This one's going to be a little closer to the body. It's going to make a statement. People that are nearby or you walk by, they're going to get a trail of this. It's absolutely breathtaking. And you'll probably get a lot of compliments wearing this particular fragrance. Has really nice longevity, beautiful fragrance. And again, this particular one is called The Golden Guy by MELEG Perfumes. All right, next is from the tobacco collection. This is Rich, Warm, Addictive Eau de Toilette by ZARA. This particular fragrance is targeted for men. However, in my honest opinion, I feel like it's unisex. It does slightly lean feminine to me, and maybe it's because of the opening. You're getting a lot of honey in here that blends with this luscious coconut. It's creamy. And then you have hints of tobacco in here that's just, I love it. And it blends really well with a sandalwood, some cedar. This is a great fragrance you can wear on a date night. Now, especially if you're at home, you're cuddling up, watching a movie or whatever. This is one of those fragrances I would recommend wearing. I don't recommend this one if you're going out for the night and you're going to be out for hours, because the performance on this is not too good. It does not last very long on the skin at all, which is really unfortunate because it is such a beautiful fragrance. I mean, it's really, really nice, but the performance is less than desirable. I only get, if I'm lucky, about 2 hours with this particular fragrance, but it's very affordable. So if you don't mind respraying, then I recommend you try this one out. This one's located in the men's section. So yeah. Wish it lasted longer. Beautiful. This one again was the Rich, Warm, Addictive by ZARA. This is kind of sad because this is the only size I have of this next fragrance. This is Tobacco Vanille Eau de Parfum by Tom Ford, but I am getting some use out of it. This is an outstanding fragrance. It obviously has to be in this video. I think it's one of my favorite tobacco fragrances. It's a beautiful unisex. It has this gorgeous opening with this tobacco leaf. There's also a slight spiciness to this. It also has some cacao. There's tonka bean, an assortment of dried fruits, as well as some woody accords that just makes this fragrance just fantastic. It's incredible. It lasts a long time. It projects extremely well. This is one of those fragrances that will enter a room before you do, and it'll be the last to leave. And when I say last to leave, it's one of those fragrances that will linger long after you're gone. People will know that you've been there just by this lingering in the air. I think it's sexy, it's seductive. It's definitely one of those fragrances worth checking out. One of these days, I'm gonna buy a full bottle, but there you have it. Check it out. This one is the Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. So many people have talked about this one. All right, this is VENCHI's signature Eau de Parfum by HERVE LAURENT, another great unisex fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrances from this fragrance house. I absolutely love this one. It smells incredible. Now, this is a very expensive fragrance. I'm not even going to tell you how much this is, but this opens with this gorgeous saffron that mixes with this warm ginger, and then in the distance you're getting some lilies. There's also some green leaves in here, which makes this very unique, as well as a beautiful creamy skin-like musk. But then it's the tobacco that comes forward that is very sweet, very rich, intoxicating. There's also some oud in here. Now the oud is very, very mild. It's just a hint of oud, and it mixes beautifully with this rich, creamy, smooth vanilla and a warm amber. It just wraps you in this intoxicating blanket of fragrance that people are just going to want to know what you're wearing. You're going to get compliments. Performance-wise, as I mentioned, fantastic. It's passed in arm's length when you spray it. Lasts a very, very long time on the skin and clothes, and that's exactly what you want to happen when you pay a lot of money for a fragrance. But this is outstanding. Again, one of my favorites from the line, and this one is the VENCHI signature by HERVE LAURENT. Next is NIRVANA Amethyst Eau de Parfum by Elizabeth and James. This one is geared towards women. However, in my opinion, a guy could certainly wear this one. It is sweet. I would say it's one of the sweetest in my collection alongside the Rich Warm Addictive. And this is very addicting as well. This opens with a really nice tobacco that's sweet. It has a really nice honeysuckle that blends with some cedar as well as some other spices. So it's a slight spiciness in here, but not overly spicy. I don't like fragrances that are too spicy, and I think this one is done just right. This one is great for a signature scent. You can wear this one year round. Performance-wise, it definitely projects very well. However, longevity is not the best in here. However, it is better than Rich Warm Addictive from ZARA. I wish it lasted longer, but it's still a beautiful fragrance. It's like thin. You can throw it in your bag and respray if you have to, but I like the notes in here. I love the way this one smells. And again, this one is the Nirvana Amethyst by Elizabeth and James. All right, last but not least is Oriental Tobacco Eau de Parfum by Dossier. This is a unisex fragrance. However, they changed the name on their site. It is now called Powdery Tobacco, and I'm not sure why the name was changed, but they did. This is a great option if you want to get the Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford, which is very, very expensive. This is very affordable, and I would have to say this is about 90 to 95% spot on. They've done an incredible job with this particular fragrance. This opens with a really nice tobacco leaf, a ginger that's slightly spicy. It blends with this vanilla. You've got tonka bean, dried fruits, and cacao. Very intoxicating. It just, when I smell it, it smells so similar to the Tobacco Vanille. I mean, it really is hard to tell those two apart. The only difference really is the price. So if you want to save yourself a lot of money, definitely check out Dossier. They have a ton of, you know, inspired fragrances from designers, niche, but really great company. They make some incredible fragrances. Performance-wise, this is outstanding. Pass an arm's length. It will last on your clothes and skin a really long time, and this also will linger long after you're gone. So I love fragrances that just kind of lets people know you were there, and this one does the exact same thing. So outstanding. Again, this one is the Oriental Tobacco. However, now look for it as Powdery Tobacco on Dossier's site. Anyway, there you have my 7 fragrances with tobacco. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know what fragrances you have that tobacco note, especially if it's one that I haven't talked about today. Remember that one spray can literally change your day, so have a good one, and I'll see you guys again real soon.